Welcome, everybody. This is a brief walkthrough of the power of Jobylon combined with HirePort. What is HirePort? It is a module or an add-on that allows you to really unify the whole talent acquisition flows of permanent employees, flexible workforce, also through third parties, all centralized in Jobylon, your ATS. So HirePort has three modules. The first of three aspects, let's say. The first is supplier collaboration. I'll show you how this works. So on the left, we have our jobs in Jobylon. We can click the software engineer, and from here we see all the regular elements of Jobylon, but also external suppliers. So this is a new feature that is provided by HirePort that allows you to really work with all the talent suppliers on this position. You can very easily say, I want less of them to work on this vacancy or more of them to work on it. Confirm, and they will get an email to have an invite to work on that role. So here they work on a software engineer position at Jobylon, for example, and then automatically the master contract is combined with this position. So the supplier sees what the exact terms are to be delivering talent on this position. In this example, it's for permanent employment, but of course it can also be based on the flexible roles, let's say like freelance positions with a certain hourly rate or any other kind of working form. So when they propose candidates, they just flow in the regular inflow of candidates in Jobylon. Sorry, we go back to the software engineer role. They also see the candidates in process. And for example, Christopher Morgan is through HirePort. So when we click Christopher, then we see this new UFO, the logo of HirePort, pop up. And what you can do here is straight on the candidate record in Jobylon, be in contact with that external recruiter or with that person at this third party that is delivering talent in whichever form. Then we go to the second module, the second element of HirePort, supplier management. How does that work? So here we can go to contracts. In Jobylon, you can create contracts, and those are the contracts that you have fine-tuned with procurement or maybe your financial teams or your CFO, and it showcases the exact terms under which certain suppliers can provide talent, permanent, flex talent, etc. It can also be master contracts that you create per supplier, or you have one master contract that allows you to hire certain talent, for example, within the software space or within the finance team. That's how you can set it up. Supplier management gives you one overview with all the parties, with all the third parties you work with. And when you click this, you can also see all the details that you have agreed with them. Lastly, we have the module of supplier performance and cost. So we allow you to get a real comprehensive view of everything that's happening on permanent hiring, on the hiring of flexible workforce, and it gives you real grip and also allows for minimizing cost on working with third parties for the talent they provide. So here we have the analytics. Again, from Jobylon, you can see the entire interactions with your external parties. You see how many jobs are opened up for third parties to work on, the flow of candidates. But for example, let's dive into the analytics of the suppliers. Here we can select specific roles and we can analyze the data on that, or a talent pool like IT, finance, etc. We can filter on department or geography to get a grip on the whole entire external interactions, and also filter on the on the suppliers and analyze what's happening there. Here you can also see the amount of suppliers you have. You can dive deeper. You can go back from IT to also finance, for example. How many suppliers do we have on the separate elements within finance? And you can, of course, invite more if that's needed. Next, you can compare performance. So we see the fee versus the time to hire. We see in this example on permanent employees we're hiring, what we're paying third parties for that successful hire. You can also see how fast they do this. Based on this, you can fine-tune your preferred supplier list, and you can give certain suppliers preference. So first you can have a tier, and tier 1 suppliers, they get access in the first 4 weeks, for example, to work on a certain vacancy, and then you can open it up to a bigger group. You can also set templates in the sense that you can say, listen, this is my preferred supplier that can always work on vacancies in IT or in finance. etc. You can look at the introduction quality, so how many candidates are accepted of the ones that are introduced. You can also have a widget, for example, with how fast your suppliers provide interesting candidates. Look at process management quality, how many interviews do I need for one hire, all that kind of stuff. Lastly, we have two elements. We have the spend, so we can track in time how much we're spending on the entire hiring in collaboration with third parties. And we also can analyze that per department, per talent pool. And the final element here, the final feature here, is to look at budget. So we have a budget of 1 million to hire permanent employees. 830,000 has been spent. We have 170 left. We do this based on the actual data of the candidate that's being hired. We can measure that. We also see what their contract is that the individual candidate gets. So based on that, we have real-time calculations on the spend, and we can showcase this in the budget. And that's it.